Hi, this is Kim from Sew Lot in Lexington, and today we're doing the Kona block of the month, and we are on month number 7 in July. It's this pretty green one, and this one's pretty easy. I'm going to switch the other camera and show you what I'm talking about. Again, we have the half square triangles in the corners, and then the top and the sides and the bottom are flying geese. So you can see your flying geese block. And so the hardest part's just the center square. So let's start with the colors of the fabrics that we're using. Okay, so the first one here is leaf, letter A. You can kind of see the green that is. The next green is a dark green, juniper. It's more like a dark evergreen. Then we've got dill, basil, palm. So there's A, B, C, D, and E. We're going to go over to the other side. And holly. Holly is a brighter medium green than this one here. And that will be letter F. G is a bright green. Fern and mint. Of course, looks just like mint. And then white will be I. All right. So to start with, the cutting, about the same as the others. You're going to start with 2 4 7/8 inch squares, cut once on the diagonal for the A fabric, which was the leaf. That are these here. These are put with the triangles from letter I, which is the white. And of course, we always start out making our 4 corner half square triangles. So you're going to take those triangles, just piece them together, sew them along the diagonal, press it towards the dark side, square it up at 4.5. You'll have 4 of them, 1 for each corner. And again, that's A and I. Okay, I'm going to set these to the side. Okay, now the next step is step 2. And in step 2, we're making the flying geese. And you're going to make 2 sets of 2. In one set, you're going to have a color D and color E. And then in the other set, you have color B and color C. And again, I just sewed on the diagonal, press it towards the dark side, and then same thing on the other side. So you end up with 4, 2 of each of the color sets, and they measure 4.5 by 8.5. So we got B and C and D and E. We're going to set those to the side. Now, next part's a little bit more tricky. These are what we're making. You've got 2 triangles on one side and 1 on the other. They're all done in mint. We'll have 2 of them will be letter F, the color, and then 2 of them will be letter G on the color. Okay, so I've left 1 to look at. I'll show you how it's done. You're going to start by taking your little triangles of H and G, the mint with the fern, and you're going to sew them on the right angle. You see the right angle is put towards the center of them. You sew your 1/4 inch and press it towards the dark side. And that one has now become the same size as the larger H triangle. You will put those together to form a square. All we have to do here is sew on the diagonal. Now in this case, I can't really press it towards the dark side, so I'm going to go towards the larger piece. It's just less resistance when you press. Don't forget, not to press on your stickers. Now this square should measure 4.5 inches. So we're going to square it up, last thing. Now I'm going to start with the diagonal, the full diagonal, and line up my ruler with that diagonal. Turn it 180 degrees and line up again with 4.5 on this side and at the bottom. And there's our square. You're going to make 2 of these in the lighter green. So we'll have 2 like this. And 2 in the F color, the darker green. Now we're ready to start putting it together. That wasn't a whole lot, was it? So let's lay it out first. Let's start with the center. So within that center square, the top left corner, the F is going to be at the bottom of that square. And then diagonally across from it will be the other F, and the F will be at the top. Now, adding in the G and H squares in the upper right, the G square will be to the left, and at the bottom, it will be to the right. With our flying geese blocks, the D and the E will go on the sides. So it'll be D here, E, and E. All right, on top, we're going to have the B and C. So again, the goose is pointing towards the center of the block, and B and C at the bottom. And then, of course, our corners, the A block, the A triangle goes to the outside, the green, so you can see the star in the center. It looks just like that. This one's put it together a little bit different. We're not going to be able to just do rows across the center. We're going to start by putting together the center square and then adding the two side pieces for a middle row. The top and the bottom rows can be put together just across, but this center section here, that center square has to be put together first. And we'll do these two together, and then put the two rows together. So it's time to sew. I'm going to start with the top row and the bottom row. There's the first piece, and they line up real good. So we'll go to the second piece. That one looks good too. So there's the top row, and here we have the bottom row. Okay, so I'll set that up there. So let's start with the center. Just going to place the top row on top and the bottom row. Okay, there's the top and the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to press these towards the light green triangle, so they'll be going in opposite directions. Okay. Put the bottom one on the top one. Try to line up my points and pin it real good. Okay, let's see how that point turned out. Oh, the center looks beautiful. Now I'm going to press this like a pinwheel. So it looks like we got a little 4 patch there in the center. And I'm going to take my stickers off. There's our center block. Now, this center block doesn't tell us a size, except we put 4.5-inch squares together, which would come out to 9 inches. So we took a 1/4 inch off, so they should be 8 3/4. Let me use my mat here and see if we got it. Pretty close. So I'm just going to go with the size that I've got here and add the sides to it. And they are equal to that center square. So I think we got the right size. Okay, again, there's a point to line up. Okay, let's see if we got that point. Should be pretty good. We're a little ways off. So let's see. I'm going to take out stitches there in the center and move my green closer to my dark green. Got a little more than I wanted to. So I'm going to move that over. See if I'm closer. Definitely closer. And this time I'm going to try pinning it this direction and taking the pin out at the last minute and see if that helps. Looks pretty good. Okay, now for the right side, start with lining up the point. I'm going to put the pin in this way again from the side. Put my needle down. See how the point turned out? Ooh, pretty good. I'll take that. Now, this time, I'm going to press towards the flying geese. I think that's the least resistance. If you'd like to press open, you can certainly do these pressing open. It's a little bulky, but not too bad. So if we look at this, you can see that my edges are off a little bit there and there, probably from not squaring up that center block. But had I done that, I think I would have probably clipped a couple points. So I'm going to be okay with that. Okay, so now we're going to put the bottom on first this time. Flip it up. This one didn't get pressed. These seams go out. So I need these seams to go in so that they'll nest. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the top. Let's press it inward. So I'm going to start with the bottom, line up my seams. It's time to sew it. Okay, take our pins out. There it is. That looks pretty good. I am going to press this one towards that border or the bottom row. Okay, let's see how that looks. So this is matched up. That's pretty good. Over here, it looks like I'm off. I'm a little long. I'm going to try to see if I can't fix that. So I'm going to line this up again. I'm going to slide it down and back a little bit and put a pin in it. Okay, let's see how it looks. Ah, much better. So they match up this time. Okay, now we're going to bring top down. So I'm going to line this corner up, try to hold it together. Okay, we match up there. We match up there, right there. Off just a hair there, but we'll live with that. Looks good there. We'll just press this, take off my stickers. Again, I'm going to press this out. There we have the black. Month 7. It's all green. So I hope you have a fun time making this one. Thought the center was really interesting. Okay, see you next month.